The Sherman tank is often called weak, thin armor, small gun. German tank crews laughed at it, at least. That's the story we usually hear. But when you read German combat reports, a very different picture appears. German crews believed in quality, thick armor, powerful guns. The Sherman looked fragile by comparison, lower profile, lighter armor. On paper, it should have been easy to destroy, but battles are not fought on paper. German crews noticed something immediately. There wasn't just one Sherman, there were many. They appeared fast. They attacked from several directions. And they kept coming. Destroy one, another replaced it. German reports mentioned this again and again. Enemy tanks appear endlessly. German tanks were powerful, but complex. Breakdowns were common. Spare parts were scarce. Shermans were different. Simple, reliable, easy to repair. German crews wrote that American tanks returned to battle again and again. A tank that always shows up is more dangerous than one that looks impressive. The Sherman didn't rely on raw power. It relied on coordination. Smoke blinded German gunners. High explosive shells damaged optics. Radio coordination brought artillery and aircraft. German crews wrote that Shermans rarely fought alone. They fought as part of a system. That system was terrifying. German reports mention exhaustion, constant movement, no rest. Shermans forced German tanks to relocate. Again and again, even superior tanks became hunted. Fear doesn't come from weakness, it comes from pressure. German crews didn't respect the Sherman's armor, but they respected its presence. They feared its numbers, its coordination, its reliability. The Sherman was not a duelist, it was a swarm. The Sherman wasn't designed to be the strongest tank. It was designed to always be there, and in war, being there again and again can decide everything.